when they make their initial marks, I believe them to be not necessarily guided in any way, or not necessary even to make a statement other than the fact, but saying, I exist, I'm a human being, I would like to be taken seriously.
It's kind of like, they're like, why did you write on my building? And I'm like, why did you put your building in my city? It's like, flip it around like that. I live in the city. Just because you have the financial, economic, social means to put up a building, I don't got nothing to say about that. You interact with your environment's part of you, but you're starting to feel alienated from things because everywhere you look, somebody else is controlling something. Someone's controlling what you watch on TV, someone's controlling the books you read. Yeah, you have choices, but still, if you look at it from far enough away, the choices are limited to a certain degree. Not only is it an art form, but it's also a lifestyle and a culture. We have our own way of talking, communicating. Everything in the world is on a constant process of evolution and evolving and becoming more complicated. And it's the same with this art form. Once you understand it, you can look and go, wow, I didn't think of doing that. That's brilliant right there. That's genius. I would have never thought of putting those colors together or bending an E or an F that way. It's like, wow, it can be looked at that way. Like I was saying before, graffiti is very specific and has specific rules, and it's very hard for the untrained eye to tell the difference between good graffiti and bad graffiti and what makes it up. Once you have some history, once you understand the history of it and the evolution of the artists and who broke what rules and who developed this, it's all known to graffiti writers. I can sit here and tell you, the first person to do a top to bottom on a subway, the first person to do a white outline, the first person to do a drop shadow, So along the way, people, were advancing, and there's a whole history to it that, anybody that does this that's worth their beans will know the history of it. Phase 2 was the first guy to come up with the bubble letters, and really develop that. Stay High was one of the first guys to do top to bottoms on the subway train, meaning going from the very bottom of the subway train all the way to the top, covering that space. Subway cars became more crowded. Someone decided, hey, not only am I going to do my little signature, but I'm going to do a line around it so nobody, as kind of like a border. And then from that, someone came up with the idea, okay, well, I'm going to do that border, but then I'm going to fill it in and then do the border around it, and it became bigger and more grandiose that way and evolved that way.
You see people asking graffiti artists now to use a graffiti style when they're approaching their signage, outside their building, or just when you look at college logos, they started making college logos look like graffiti. These kids have made an impact. Even in the beginning of these huge Hollywood productions, you see this graffiti-style approach to how they go from image to image to image. So it's just just a brief splattering. They keep changing the angle. It's got that immediacy that graffiti has. So it's almost like graffiti is catering to this media blitz that we're in, where nobody's expected to pay attention to something for too long.